Hello there friends and welcome for today's BG3 guide. I want to finally get started into everything related to Honor Mode. First with an overview of all the Honor Mode specific mechanic changes because I don't think the game does a good job at explaining them at all. When you go over the Honor Mode details tab, for example, it's pretty poor. Saying action economy and damage bonus rules are made stricter towards the end of the game, okay, but what does this actually mean? That's the point of this guide. It's also somewhat misleading because it's not just at the end of the game, these changes work as early as you start the game. And we'll also cover the most important legendary actions for, well, each of the bosses. Before getting into that, just as far as the basic mechanics, you will only have a single save file for your entire Honor Mode run. However, you can have multiple Honor Mode save files for each different character. And while it is a permadeath Iron Man run, if you die, you can still keep playing the game. It's just that the difficulty will change to custom instead of honor, so you won't get the Honor Mode rewards anymore. And you'll still be stuck with one save. Anyways, let's finally get started first with the action economy changes and nerfs in Honor Mode. And this has everything to do with the extra attack mechanic most martial classes get by level 5, which lets you of course attack once again after attacking, per each action you have. This is important because by default, up to Tactician mode, when you have extra attack for example, you'll get to attack twice per each individual action you have, no matter where it is coming from. Later this can even become 3 attacks per each action if you are, for example, a fighter, from improved extra attack. To make this easier to understand, let's showcase how it works up to Tactician mode. Let's attack the enemy once, and we can now use an extra attack without spending more action points. So let's do that. We have 2 action points remaining, so we attack again, and still have another extra attack for the second action point. It's only now that we'll spend the third action point, and guess what? It also comes with another extra attack, as I explained before. You can even go into Action Surge and do the same essentially. Now let's see what the main difference is all about in Honor Mode. So let us attack once with the same build. We now get the extra attack proc, so we can attack again without spending another action. We now have 2 action points remaining. However, because they are coming from the haste buff and also the elixir of bloodlust, well, in Honor Mode you will not get extra attack prompts from them. So we attacked and there we go. No extra attack prompts, we already spent the second action. We can now attack again as our third action, and once again, no extra attacks gained. Amusingly enough, you can still use the fighter's action surge ability to provide you with an extra action point that does work with extra attack, as you can see here, even in Honor Mode. I'm not sure why they decided to keep this, maybe it's an oversight. It is still working as far as the most current patch anyways, and well, what can I say? Fighter multiclassing is even better in Honor Mode because of this. So to put it simply, in Honor Mode, you will only get extra attacks either in your very first normal action or fighter's action surge, not from bloodlust or haste. Now let us cover the damage bonus rule changes in Honor Mode. Damage riders are basically extra sources of damage that you have being applied to your main attacks. For example, we have fire, lightning, psychic, and poison. This comes from multiple sources like the Broodmother's Revenge, the Callous Glow Ring, or Helldust Gloves. The main issue with this is that some of these sources, most importantly the Callous Glow Ring, that lets you deal 2 points of radiant damage against enemies that are under light sources, some of these damage riders are actually treated as sources of damage themselves. What this means is, as you're about to see, they'll kinda loop back and forth and get applied multiple times per each attack. For example, we are on Tactician mode to show how it goes normally, with a level 12 Ranger for the Whirlwind Attack ability that hits multiple enemies as an area of effect, And of course, because we have so much extra damage being added, all the enemies will be hit with this, including the extra thunder damage as an area of effect from our Drunk Great Club weapon. So let's go for Whirlwind Attack. As you can see, the game kinda lags because of how many extra damage sources were applied instantly on top of each other, looping back and forth. So as you can see here, just look at how many procs of thunder damage coming from the Fowler Alluve, Shriek Aura that's coming from Shadow Heart, and also the Callous Glow Ring. Just look at this. It keeps going on and on and on. We haven't even reached our normal attack yet. Everything you can see here is just Fowler Alluve and the Callous Glow Ring looping again and again and again. Eventually our Fowler Alluve procs end, but instead we'll get the Cuddle Weak Mind Flayer power. And guess what? Callous Glow Ring is also being applied on top of it for each killed enemy as a shockwave, and it just goes on and on and on, just like before. It is kind of insane, as you can see here, so I can kind of understand why they decided to change or nerf this. I mean, just look at that. Once the Psychic from Cuddle Weak ends, we now get the extra thunder damage from our weapon while drunk. And once again, Callous Glow Ring applied on top of that. And just look at this, it's ridiculous how many extra sources of damage you have. Only now is when we finally get to our normal attack damage at the very top of the combat log. And of course, Callous Glow is applied again. So everything you see below here are from extra damage riders being treated as damage sources. Quite OP, of course. Now let's see how this works on Honor Mode. We have the same character and build on Honor Mode, of course. So let's go for the same Whirlwind attack. As you can already see, we did not get anywhere near as many extra damage procs as our example before in Tactician mode. All that fun Callous Glow stuff being looped back and forth, it's no longer being applied. We only have the Callous Glow bonus on our actual normal attacks. On the other hand, you still get a lot of Cuddle Weak procs from the Mind Flayer power, so I don't think they nerfed this specifically, mostly the Callous Glow Ring only. And Fowler Alluve as well. But well, the main difference is instead of dealing with all the enemies in one attack, it takes two, so it's not that much of a nerf, to be fair. And you can of course still keep on going and kill everything with just one character. Last but not least, let's finally cover the stronger bosses mechanics, that is, the legendary actions. To put it simply, almost all boss enemies, even so-called mid-bosses, in the game now have unique legendary actions. These can work in a number of different ways, and of course, it's best if you actually bother reading the enemy's stat sheet before fighting them, as this will allow you to fully understand what legendary actions they have and how they'll impact battle. As I mentioned before, it's not just story bosses, pretty much any boss tier enemy will have legendary actions now. As far as their impact in the game, honestly, it depends on the type of legendary action the enemies have. The main reason is simple. Usually, the only dangerous legendary actions are the ones that get applied as a reaction, so a passive whenever your characters attack the enemy. That is, it doesn't cost them anything to activate them, and it also does not have to be their own turn. This of course matters a lot because the way the game is, even on Tactician and Honor Mode, is well, alpha strikes are king. What this means is, even early on, you can easily, absolutely destroy any dangerous enemy in what's pretty much going to be just one round. So one turn. With high initiative, that means enemies won't even get to act at all, at least the most powerful ones. If the enemy has to actually bother wasting an action or waiting until their turn comes to activate their legendary action, like I said, it's not gonna matter because chances are they'll be dead by then. But there's no legendary action in this game that's game over tier or anything like that, such as taking too long to defeat the final boss during multiple turns. Something that, if you know what you're doing, isn't really gonna happen. Well, alright friends, so this was it for my Honor Mode Mechanics Changes guide. The next one will be about the best party for Honor Mode with pretty much 100% win rate chance. As always, if you found this guide useful, please remember to like, subscribe, and also consider becoming a channel member if you can. I really appreciate your support. Thank you for watching and see you next time, friends.